From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Sunday, September 13th, 2015. Silver is trading at $14.63 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,108 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $235. And War.com reports a U.S. drone strike in the Gomal district of the Paktika province along the Afghan border with Pakistan killed 15 people whom the Pakistani government say were fighters loyal to Mullah Fazulah's faction of the Tariq-e-Taliban Pakistan, TTP. Fazulah's faction is a regional faction centered around the Dera Ismail Khan, and indications are they aren't particularly favorable to the main branch of the TTP. The TTP is generally centered on the tribal area, though the Fazullah faction is in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. The U.S. drone strike comes amid Afghan and Pakistan officials trading blame for the rise of various Taliban factions along the border. Both nations regularly complain that factions use the other nation as a staging ground for attacks, and indeed the factions often span both sides of the border. U.S. drone strikes are increasingly common in Afghanistan, though exact figures on them are much less easy to come by than the ones in Pakistan, as at times they are reported similar as airstrikes, and the distinction between those and unmanned drones aren't always apparent. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com. UPI reports California Governor Jerry Brown declared a state of emergency in 2 counties after a fast-moving wildfire exploded nearly 65,000 acres on Friday, threatening thousands of structures and damaging highways. Thousands were forced to flee as the Butte fire moved closer to the Sierra foothills counties of Amador and Calaveras. More than 2,400 firefighters were battling the blaze, but the last report says the fire was only about 5% contained. The unusually dry and hot conditions were making the fire increasingly unpredictable and extremely volatile. Some 6,400 homes were under evacuation orders. So far, 6 structures and 2 outbuildings have been destroyed. Nancy Longmore of the CAL FIRE Tulumne Calaveras unit said fire hasn't gone through this area in a very long time. There's a huge amount of fire buildup and a huge number of homes tucked up in the narrow driveways. The fire started Wednesday in Amador County and was quickly being compared to the 2013 Rim fire, which exploded to become the state's 3rd largest wildfire in recent memory. For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports the county clerk from Kentucky who was jailed after refusing to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples has asked an appeals court to let her continue her stand until a lawsuit against her is decided. Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis, due back to work on Monday, has said her beliefs prevent her from issuing marriage licenses to same-sex couples, and her attorneys have said Davis will not violate her conscience when she returns to work. In her absence, deputy clerks have been issuing licenses and have said they would continue to do so. Davis was jailed when she refused to comply with U.S. District Judge David Bunning's order to issue marriage licenses. He ordered her released when the deputy clerks began issuing licenses. In a Friday motion filed with the 6th Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals, Davis's attorney asked that she be allowed to continue banning marriage licenses for her entire office until the case is settled. Davis's attorneys argued that Bunning's initial order had only covered couples who were suing her. In a separate filing on Friday, her attorneys said that this case would be over if the governor, using the same authority that allowed him to change the certificate to be gender neutral, would simply remove her name from the document. Bunning warned Davis in his release order that there would be consequences if she interfered with the issuance of marriage licenses when she returned to work. Her attorneys have said marriage certificates issued without her authority have been void. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.